Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Pie Records, and I'm here with two of the cool cats from Doghouse Rose. How you guys doing?
Doing very well. How are you
Good.
doing?
Cheers.
Very good. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having us. We're really excited to be here.
So
Mhm.
tell me, introduce yourselves, and what instruments do you play in Doghouse Rose?
I'm Jordan. I'm the drummer.
And
Hi,
I'm
Jordan.
Sarah Beth. I sing and I play guitar.
Awesome. One thing important about rockabilly music is the twangy guitar. So let's start off by your influences on guitar.
Well, I kind of like came up in the punk scene in Toronto. So like I didn't get into like the rockabilly stuff until a little bit later. It's like oh, there's dogs barking outside. Like I really loved a lot of the local stuff, and my heroes were kind of just like whatever like teenage band was playing at the Big Bop that weekend. Like in terms of like, you know, the legends of guitar, like I loved Joan Jett. Like she was a simple player, but you know, just like it was more the attitude behind it that like really drove me. But like my dad was a blues musician, and he like worshipped Stevie Ray Vaughan and like, you know, Jimi Hendrix and those guys. So like when I was really young and he kind of taught me how to play guitar, that was like a lot of the early influence that I had.
Very cool. How about on the drums?
Oh yeah, I took a bit of a weird full circle kind of situation with the drums. I started when I was really young, and I remember like the first like music that really attracted me to drums was all the pop punk stuff going on at the time, like all the Sum 41s, Blink 182s, what have you. So Travis Barker was probably like the first guy that made me go, oh my God, the drums are so amazing.
Yeah.
And then when I got older, I started getting more into like just nerdy drum stuff because it was like, I just loved it so much. So the Mike Portnoys of the world, the Neil Pearts, I was right into all of that. And then I got into the metal stuff, all the Metallicas. I love Lars. I think he's incredible, even though a lot of people always bag on that guy. I think he's a great drummer. Maybe not a great person, but I like his drumming. But and punk rock in general also was important. I should definitely note that. So Rancid, I remember really liking as a kid. Like it kind of springboarded from the Blink 182s and what have you.
It's a really good entry point.
Yeah, it's a great like gateway.
It's
like,
approachable. And, like,
Yeah,
doable.
Oh, totally.
Is that why you think, because it's so accessible for people to play, why punk rock is such a gateway into surf, rockabilly, and a lot of subgenres?
I think sometimes it's because people like don't want to get punched in the back in the mosh pit anymore. So they want this kind of like subculture music and experience, but they don't want to get punched in the back. So you know, like a more dancey kind of vibe. I think, you know, there's a lot of crossover. I think like I don't know, like when I was coming up in the scene and stuff, like there would be mixed genre shows all the time.
Yeah.
Like we'd have this band, the Three Cards, with like the Creep Show, and like a surf band from Montreal, and like it was always kind of this like mixed genre thing. Like there were kind of like exclusive surf shows, there were, you know, like the hardcore punk shows at different venues and stuff, but like I'm gonna talk about the Big Bop again because it was definitely a turning point for my life. But like it was just kind of a mixed bag all the time. So yeah, it kind of like it wasn't like one thing leading to another, it was just kind of like all things at once, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I love that about the genre too, because like that, like especially with rockabilly, my introduction to like rockabilly, psychobilly, all that stuff was joining this band basically. Like the only like I knew of the Creep Show because I had friends in high school who were like fans of the Creep Show and showed me some stuff. But then like upon joining this band and like playing with all these other like rockabilly bands, surf bands, and everything, it's like, whoa, this is really cool music that I never knew existed. And it's cool that like, yeah, that the punk scene kind of like, it's just so inclusive, and it allows like all these cool like subgenres, if you will. Like, yeah, that's what I love about it.
It's
Got a bit of that.
infectious. It's infectious once you start to latch on to a certain genre, and then you just keep the ball rolling. You find one great band after another, and I think
Yeah.
I think you guys and I have that in common. Just fans of music in general. But once you find that really good style, you like to roll with it.
You can go pretty deep down a rabbit hole for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you
And,
gotta chase this down
Yeah.
for a while.
and like find like, I don't know, the purest form of it, and then like find the roots of where that came from, and then where they got their influence. And like, yeah, you can get pretty pretty deep into it.
Yeah, that's
Um,
pretty unanimous with like a lot of people, it seems, like in like the whole punk scene and everything. It's like we're all like searching for new sounds and like, yeah, seeing how deep that rabbit hole goes.
Yeah,
Which is
totally.
cool. There's dozens of us out there. Like, we're into that kind of thing. It's great.
So I want to talk a little bit about 2 of the 7-inches that I have,
Yeah.
that you guys put out on Missing Think Records.
Yeah.
Our buddy Johnny. You have your first. I'm assuming is your debut 7-inch, the pink one, and then you have
It was, yeah.
then you have a split with Running from Daylight, who I'm also big fans of.
Mhm.
Love those guys.
So shout out to Garrett and the guys.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how those came to be. I know that's a big step, getting your stuff pressed on vinyl.
It was a huge step for us. It's something we wanted for a really long time, and we like, didn't know how to go about it. Garrett from Running from Daylight, actually, like, we played a show with them in London, I believe, and we were talking about, they had a 7-inch out already on Missing Think, and like, oh, like, how did you guys hook that up? And then I think he talked to Johnny on our behalf, and like, it was a really cool guy thing for him to do. And
Mhm.
when we got talking with Johnny, we had previously recorded 2, like, they were kind of like demo-y single, kind of like, we didn't know what to do with them exactly. The 2 songs, which were the first versions of The Rose and Dark Days. And John loved them, and we were really excited about it. And yeah, when we got that pressing in our hands for the first time, it was just like, it was such a gratifying moment to
Yeah,
actually
cool.
see it like pressed in that vinyl in like a glorious pink. And
Yeah, the colors are cool. I like the white one.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's classic.
The white is really cool.
And
They're sharp.
it really kind of like, it felt like, in some ways, it's like, now we're a real band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that physical thing.
That
And after we,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
After that, we had talked to Garrett about, like, we had a song from like our album that we had like put out ourselves that we still wanted to kind of like keep going with, and it was like booze related. And then they also had a song that was booze related, and we're like, why don't we put out like a split of like our drinking songs, and Jordan had the idea for the artwork.
Yeah.
Like model the Justice for All album cover, but like,
Yeah.
she's weighing like a 2.4 and a bottle of whiskey
Yeah,
instead.
it all goes back to Metallica, right? It always has, always will. Yeah, it's just like, we gotta do like, yeah, ... and then Never Been Sicker, like a continuation of the beer before liquor, Never Been Sicker. Who actually
Nice.
had a friend who, he was just like, his whole thing was like, as long as it rhymes, it's true. So his whole thing was like, what is it? Liquor before beer, you're in the clear or something. He switched them around.
Yeah.
So
Flip
like,
the game.
he flipped it so it would work in his favor. But anyways, it's like, yeah, Never Been Sicker with the ... which is
Yeah, and we wanted it on
important.
like, we wanted to press it on like puke green. That was the idea. And
Yeah.
like beer bottle brown, which we got. We were very
Yeah,
happy.
we got our colors. Our
Awesome.
vision came to life.
Very open-minded.
He has lots of great colors, lots of great swirls and stuff that he gets done. I think he gets some press at United, which is a really flexible. I want to say they're very open to new ideas, because I know he does a lot of random colors and stuff like that. So
Cool.
what are you guys up to now? You had that album out, you had the 2 7-inches. And now what have you been working during the pandemic, or are you writing or recording?
Well, like right before the pandemic hit, we like finished recording like the record that we've wanted to make for several years that we were super, super proud of. And yeah, we finished tracking it in January, like late January. It was finished mixing like like early March. It was like right before everything hit.
Had it
and
all
then,
in our hands.
yeah, so we were sitting on this album, like we didn't want to like not put it out. So we shopped it to Stomp Records here in Canada, and we were like, we've wanted to be on their label for so long, because like they do great things for Canadian bands and their roster is wicked. And we're also like friends with a lot of the bands on the label, so there's like a good community and camaraderie, and they picked it up. We were so excited.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Yeah, that was huge.
yeah, so that came out in November, which like halfway through, I guess. Is that not even?
I don't know. I could count months.
Yeah. So it was a fair way into the pandemic. So we just did basically like, we did a digital release and we did vinyl. We didn't like get to tour it yet though. So like,
Over
yeah. We like did a couple of live streams, which was really cool and fun. And like, it was definitely a different kind of experience than like you'd normally have for like a record release show. But it was interesting, and we're just kind of like trying to adapt and like do what we can. We focused a lot on like doing really great, like our best foot forward on like videos. We tried really hard to make our videos like exciting and visually interesting. And while we can't actually be out there in person like playing to the sweaty masses, we were like trying to like get good, I don't want to say content, but content.
Yeah, for lack of better word.
Yeah, I know. I hate saying it too.
Digital interpretations of our music. So
yeah,
we're only like, I would say in a normal year we'd be like halfway through the album cycle. But we're hoping that like we have an online festival coming up. We have a real life festival coming up in September.
Oh, sweet.
If everything goes well.
It's happening.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to like get that out there, because we worked really hard on it, and like we're really proud of it. The songs are very meaningful to us personally. It's kind of like a summary of like all of our experiences as a band up until that point. So like we do want to share that and focus on that. We are, however, writing new stuff already.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
It's hard not to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
You're gonna have you're gonna have tons of
sorry.
songs to play.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. We actually like we've had a new transition. Like we have a new guitar player, and he like already brought like wicked riffs to the table that we got like really enthusiastic and excited about. So like we're already like working on new stuff, and like it's really cool to have like a new voice actually like contributing to that process in that kind of way. So
oh, totally. Excited. Yeah, it's working out really, really nice.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So where did is it a guy or a girl?
It's a guy. Yeah.
And where did he come from? Was he in another band that you guys would hang out with?
Oh, wow. So here's a bit of a crazy story. So my just family situation. I didn't see like cousins from my dad's side for close to 20 years. There's a bit of like a disconnect, and recently I had both grandparents pass away on that side.
Oh.
So I got reconnected with one of my cousins, like my first cousin on my dad's side, and we just got to know each other after all these years. And turns out he's an amazing guitar player, plays in like the hardcore scene in the city. We have so much in common. And then when we were making this transition and looking for a new guitar player, I was just like, you know what? Maybe this is the guy. Maybe I should talk to my cousin. Is this like a fate situation? I don't know. So like I talked to him, he's like, oh yeah, I'd be totally down. Like he heard the record, he likes it. And he came in and I was just like, immediately was like, oh my God, this is really cool. This is working. So yeah, it's funny how life works sometimes. But yeah, it's really cool having
That's
a family
awesome.
member in a band. I've played in bands with family members, and it's always like you look over, it's like that's really cool. There's something special about that. Like when there's two family members playing together, there's like that like connection you can like hear in the playing. Yeah, it's cool like to kind of experience that for the first time. Yeah, it's really fun.
We're very happy to have another Zegman in the band.
Ah, nice.
I am too.
We liked our first one so much.
Yeah.
So what would you say apart from what is it about the punk rock that filters into what you're doing? Kind of how is it affecting what you're writing right now, the new stuff?
Like we definitely started this band sounding way different than we do now. Like there's no mistaking that. It was a lot more twangy, it was a lot cleaner, like in terms of distortion and everything and tone. But like the longer we went on kind of doing that, the more we kind of like I'll say like that stuff definitely helps like pay the bills for a lot of years. Like we were able to do a lot of like bar shows and like all-nighters and things like that, and we had a blast doing it. It was epic, you know, people like singing along and going crazy. But the longer we went on and like our own personal experiences, you know, as like a unit kind of dictated this new sound like for us, which is kind of an old sound.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, like we definitely still have that like melodic influence of like a lot of that twangy stuff and like rockabilly and even like some country and stuff in the structure of the songs, but like we all kind of came from a punk rock background, so we're kind of like we just want to do what we want to do, and that sounds like that right now.
Yeah, it's kind of just
Awesome.
like letting like the songs kind of dictate where it wants to go, and it just like there's kind of a common thread, it seems.
Yeah,
like at least what we're all listening to and everything, like it slips into to the writing process.
And you think maybe having a new member had a lot to do with that because his playing style?
I think 100%. Like
Yeah.
every time you get someone new, like musically, you kind of like just kind of adjust, right? Or like around that and like figure out where your, you know, commonality lies, where you like complement each other. And definitely influence wise, like it's always a new experience. We've been very lucky with like we've had kind of a rotating cast when it comes to our guitar players, but like they've all been awesome in their own way and had like totally different influences, but like they have all worked really well.
Yeah.
Very lucky, but very excited.
Yeah, love them all.
Yeah.
Love them all.
But this new guy, this is the guy.
Yeah.
So you're a 4-piece right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the bass player that we haven't spoken about yet, or what can you say other than kind of like a thumping, driving rhythm that he has? What can you say about what he adds to the band? Or she?
Well, he's like he is definitely he's like one of the main songwriters for sure, and contributes a lot creatively in that way. He's kind of a co-visionary of like a lot of the imagery and stuff like that. And he's kind of like the glue of the band, I think, in a lot of ways. Like he kind of like he keeps us on track and like make sure we are on time and drives us places. And, like, he's kind of just like he's like our rock, and you know, you kind of like you need someone like that to like propel you forward, because it's really it's a hard thing to do, you know. And besides the thunderous, wonderful, rhythmic, danceable thing that he adds all those other awesome things too.
It's a good guy.
One of the things that sticks out to me about, like, without even hearing you, I noticed the artwork, and you said he has a big part of that. The crossover between rockabilly, pinup style, and punk rock is very apparent. So it's really telling of what you're going to get inside. Was that the goal?
Absolutely. Like we try our best. Like we're definitely not like brand ambassadors or like, you know, marketing people by any stretch of the imagination. but like we definitely try to give people an indication of like we want it to look like it sounds, and we want it to like feel like what the lyrics are, and kind of like give people a preview of what's inside. And we kind of like almost see it as like it's almost like one thing. It's almost like the imagery and the music kind of go hand in hand, especially nowadays with like, you know, everything being online and like social media being what it is. Like it's kind of like part of the creative process to kind of like, we're not only thinking like what's this going to sound like, but then like later on, okay, what's it going to look like, or you know, the sound kind of dictates how it's going to look.
Yeah,
we try to capture the mood.
I think like I remember like when buying CDs, like as a kid, going to HMV, the store. Like I'd always like I'd go to the punk section every single time, and you judge things by their cover. You'd be like, oh, I like the cover of this. Like I think it will sound like this based on the cover, or if you just like heard the name of the band before. So like I don't know, there's something there as well, just being like, yeah, because there's so much out there, just like trying to present it in a way where when you see it, you could like kind of have a good enough idea of what it might be like, so you could not be like it's like, well, we told you right then and there. So you're not like too shocked.
It's like what you see is what you get. You know?
Yeah.
Put it all out on the table. It's like this is us.
So I want to just backtrack a little bit. You guys have the videos you were working on. Do you have a YouTube channel where you have these videos, or are they on Facebook? Where are they?
Our videos for our newest record are all on the Stomp Records YouTube. So but you can find it through our YouTube. You can find links through our social media, all that stuff. So yes, but they're officially on the Stomp Records YouTube.
And they're like regular videos, not just live videos.
They're official videos. We did 3 singles for this record. Like our goal going in was to do a video for every song on the record, and we're only three in, but we are working on a new one that's hopefully going to come out as soon as possible. But yeah, so we did the first single was called Run 666, and it's kind of about like media's influence on like who you are as a person, and you know, kind of like trying to figure out what your path is. So we like from scratch, from like raw materials, created like about 35 like fake old tiny TVs from scratch, like out of wood and like cardboard, and like decked them out to like, I think we like just, there was a day we just like raided our recycling like across the board to like find things that look like knobs that we could like attach to these things, and created like a wall of TVs. So, you know, like we like to put the effort in, and like
that's awesome.
That was a process.
I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty cool. So when you watch that video, like keep that in mind. Everything is made of garbage. All the knobs are just like caps from things. And I remember like when we were doing that, there's some caps where it's like, oh, that's like a money cap right there. That's the most knob looking caps. It's like, we got to put that on like the best TV.
We're running out of stuff. I was like rating my makeup. Like, here, this lid to like my perfume. Like, take it.
I'm sure I won't need it.
What did you guys do with the set after you were done with it?
It's still sitting in Owen Sound where we shot the video. We were thinking like, oh, like, you know, like the pandemic will be over soon. We'll like take some of these live and like set up the TVs with like lights or something cool. But it hasn't happened yet. We're still optimistic.
How still exist.
How far along are you in the reopening right now?
We're in Ontario, so it's not great.
Not at all.
it's not great. We're pretty, I think we're like the last. We're like we're the furthest behind. But you know, we're figuring it out as we go, and like we're definitely optimistic that we'll be able to like play in front of an actual group of people by hopefully the end of the summer.
I hope so, because we're in like the beginning stages now of like our reopening.
It's good to see that you guys can be together. That you don't
that
have.
Just happened.
This is brand new.
That was like 2 days ago.
Well, that's
and like
that's still a big step.
It's progress.
Totally. It's something.
Awesome.
I'll take it.
So if people want to buy your records, your 7 inches or your album, where can they find those?
Yes. Well, they are distributed through like if you go to like your retailers, if your retailers are open, you can request it, and generally they will send them. But if you want a more direct route, you can go to our Bandcamp, which is bandcamp.com/Doghouse Rose.
Yeah.
I believe that's how it goes.
so.
Or is it
Yeah, that sounds right.
doghouserose.bandcamp.com?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know the domain, but you
Oh,
know what?
no.
Google is wonderful. And
Yeah.
so it's on our Bandcamp. You can buy our 7 inches. You can buy our full length record. We have some t-shirts on there, some cool stuff. We're going to be releasing some new merch soon too. Get some cool summer swag. And yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And you can also go on like the streaming services if that's more your thing. If you're not like a vinyl connoisseur or a casual collector, you can go to Spotify, it's Apple Music, pretty much like all the streaming services. You can check out our stuff.
Awesome. I'd like to give everybody a chance to maybe say something or add something I haven't talked about during the interview. So is there anything you wanna say or talk about that we might not have hit on?
Oh no.
We're very much looking forward to the day that we can come to your area and actually, perform and meet new people and do this again. We've been on the edge of our seats waiting to tour because that's the thing we love to do the most. And, we're very much looking forward to getting out there and doing that again. So when that happens, look out for us because we're pretty fun.
Yeah, we're really nice. Yeah, I'm excited for things to get back to normal, and I'm really optimistic about it just being better than ever. Like people just being hungrier for live music, and
I
I
agree.
think it'll be really fun. And like with that being said, it's like when it comes back, I think we all have to hold each other a bit accountable to like go to the shows and
Let's do
support
this thing.
all the local artists, and
Totally.
get the scene better than it ever has been.
Awesome.
Yeah, because it's kind of a restart for all of us. This whole thing.
Yeah,
so it's like
totally.
when we come back, let's start off on a good foot.
I think everybody feels the same way.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I think
Yeah.
the first year back is going to be absolutely bananas.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
You could quote me on that.
Absolutely bananas.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed talking to you, and very glad you have the new record out. I'm going to check that out, and I was very happy to meet you and appreciative that
likewise.
that you gave me your time. I think we're on the same clock though. Is that right? You got
I think so. Yeah.
5:37 there.
Yes.
Oh yeah. On
Yeah.
the nose.
So yeah, I think you're directly north of us. Okay. Well, thank you so much and have a great night.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Good chatting with you.